You are listening to the Hustle Podcast, where we talk about business, life, and struggles. I'm your host, GC. I'm a filmmaker, hustler, whatever you want to call me. You can catch us every week at Monday and Friday, putting out content and interviews. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Hustle Podcast. Without further ado, let's get the shit started. What's up, guys? So today, we're going to actually be talking about my journey, how I started all this, and how I got to where I am today. And it's only fair to let you guys know about me because, of course, I'm the host of this show, and I basically started this project. And I started this project mainly because of my experience in life. And this particular segment, I'm going to be doing this in 2 parts or maybe 3 parts because it's a long story. A lot of shit happened mentally, physically. And yeah, let's get started. So I actually went to Campbell High School, which is a school in Ewa Beach. If you guys don't know, it's on the leeward side, the west side of Oahu, Honolulu, Hawaii. And I did poorly in school. I knew I was a smart guy, and people have been telling me that a lot because I knew how to work a computer. I know how to fix electronics. I know how to burn CDs. That was one of my first hustles I ever did. And but I didn't see the value in myself, and I thought it was kind of corny to be a nerd. And it's crazy because it kind of it everything happened so weird because now I wish I'm a freaking nerd, and I wish I did better in high school. I wish I made better choices, but I was more street smart than book smart, and I made some mistakes that I almost freaking failed high school. Actually, in 10th grade, I actually did fail 10th grade. I didn't have enough credit, so I was going summer school. And it's funny because I would meet these guys, these other, I guess you call them misfits. We just didn't like school. But it's funny, it was that we actually liked talking about business and making money. So we would always go off topic, and we'd get busted and get separated because we were so loud. We were just the kids, the different kids. The one that people call stupid or punks or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, I actually cleaned myself up at 11th grade, started getting my shit together, and I actually made honor roll, I think. For 11th grade, I made honor roll for until the 3rd quarter. Then I got lazy again, and I got, of course, you dip into like dating and all that, trying to get some chicks with your friends and going to the mall. You don't care. You don't care what's coming up. And I didn't even think about college or anything at that time. Well, I did, but I wasn't serious about it because I was always told that I needed to get a job or a profession that made a lot of money. And we never do think about our happiness. And I'm going to go through a topic on that later on. But yeah, so I did good 11th grade. Then 12th grade came. I did kind of good. I did okay. But towards the end, I kind of screwed up. But luckily, I pulled through. And I actually started my first job during my senior year. Was it end of junior or senior year when I first attended agriculture class? Shout out to Mr. Chow. He was my agriculture class and also my first boss ever. And I actually did an after school program with a couple of my homies that I grew up with. And we would manage the hydroponic area. We would weed whack the farm. Weed whack the agriculture area because there were weeds growing, and we'd be growing corn, squash, soybeans, and all that stuff. I had a thing for growing plants, and I don't know. I just like seeing the growth of plants. Like, how is it growth of business or growth of a person? But I always enjoyed that. But then, of course, I want to have fun. So I started slacking off again, and I started calling in sick. I was and not really showing up. I don't think I called in sick, but I started making excuses that I couldn't like do the job or go to the job site, because we would also go to McDonald's and weed whack the grass over there in the front. We would cut the bushes. We would maintain. We was basically landscapers, and I got tired of it. My back was sore, hot, and I think we was only getting paid like $7 or something, but we wasn't taxed. Like I guess he made it. He paid us to where we think we were just making $7 an hour, but we was actually making nine, and he was just taking out the taxes off that. I don't know how it actually went, but I know he was paying us a little bit more than we supposed to be getting. But that's yeah, that I'm not gonna get into that. So one day he called me and he was like, "Hey, where are you? Well, how come? What's going on?" And I told him, blah blah blah." I made some stupid excuse, and he knew I was bullshitting. He probably was watching me and like keeping tabs on me. But he told me, "Don't come into work. Stay home. Go. Think about what you want to do." And that's the first time I ever felt like, damn, somebody told me off, and I had to get my shit together. It was just I wasn't happy doing that, and my skill sets were different, and we always think about the money we want to make, but we don't. We always think about the money. We don't think about like our happiness. Yeah, so I wasn't happy at that place. So I stuck for it a little bit. We would eat Chinese food after like we would do jobs and stuff. It was fun. I mean, he was a good guy. He tried to mentor us, but of course, when you're young, you don't listen. You don't listen to shit. You think you know everything, but you don't know everything, of course. And I did a couple summer jobs. I worked at Alun Farms, which is a program where high school students go to the summertime and help out harvesting pumpkins, watermelons, packing vegetables, and it was so fun. Like I had fun because I was with my boys, and we didn't really have supervision except the guys that were in charge of us. But they don't give a shit, and we were working. We was working around immigrants, and I don't know. There's like there was on the news where there was like human trafficking, like freaking Thailand people and Filipino people. I knew we were getting paid more than them, and it was pretty sad, but it was pretty funny because we did get along with those guys too. And I remember I was first put at the factory where he was processing eggplants. So me and my friend would be like washing eggplants and throwing it in a bag for packaging, and they're gonna sell it after. And then we got put on the field where we was actually fucking around. This one, I think it was the second year, we had a watermelon fight. We got so fucking busted. Like he put the wrong team together. He thought we was gonna all bond together and stuff. We did, but we also had fun. Everybody was flying watermelons at each other. Everybody was punching the pumpkins, and yeah, we got ratted out. And oh man, it was crazy. We got so busted. Uh, and luckily, I wasn't really involved. I just was watching and laughing. But yeah, so summertime, I was doing that, and luckily, I pulled through high school, and I was thinking about college at the ending, and I wanted to be a mechanic. I wanted to be get sent to UTI, was that Universal Technical Institute at Arizona with my friends, because at that time, most guys they want to be a mechanic because it's like, oh yeah, I love cars and I want fast cars and all that bullshit. But my dad actually shot my dream down, and he told me you ain't gonna make shit off that unless you want to run your own business. And of course he doesn't know how to run a business or how it works, so he he didn't want to pay for it. And I was like, I was pissed off, and until this day I think about it, I'm like, that you should have supported me at least. But it is what it is. He wanted me to be a freaking medical nurse or some shit, and I tried to pursue that. So after graduation, I waited about a couple months because I actually got a job at Tony Group Autoplex, which was a car dealership, and this is before they had the Hyundai. They had the car wash. It was like when they first was like growing, and I guess the son actually took over the business, and so I was a greeter over there, and of course, like you just got out of high school and you get paid more than most guys because most guys was getting paid minimum wage, and I was getting paid like $9 an hour. But then again, it comes out to seven, but people were getting seven minus the taxes and all that. And I was doing that and going to school. Oh man, it was a mistake because I was so worried about I was so focused on making money and the job that I was freaking going to school for nothing because I would fall asleep in my car, and I was traveling from Evo Beach to Kapilani High School, Kapilani College, which is like Diamond Head side, and that's a freaking far drive, and you're gonna be in traffic for at least 1 hour going there and coming back. So I was working at that time, and I I would be so exhausted, and I wouldn't even do my homework because I couldn't think. Not to mention that my family wasn't so great, and they wasn't so supportive of like what I was doing or like me in general. Well, my dad wasn't. My mom was more supportive because she would be making me lunch, making me breakfast. Um, so shout out to her for helping me out. At that, she's always been like that. Yeah. So I actually dropped out after a while because I was like, again, I was like I said, I was too exhausted. I was failing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I wasn't passionate about being a nurse. Like I didn't want to be a nurse. The only reason why I did that was because my parents wanted me to do it, and they wanted to show off to their friends that, oh yeah, he's going to school for a nurse. And it's always been like that, especially with Filipino people in Hawaii. They like to show off their children as trophies, like, oh yeah, this person's successful, blah blah blah, my child is better than your child, or oh yeah, they're doing this, they're doing that now. They always do that. um and it's actually more to my mom and dad's generation, where they're all immigrants and they wanna us to succeed, but it's not like that anymore. It's times are different. Like you don't even need a degree anymore to succeed, and nobody gives a shit about a piece of paper. When you go show up at an interview, they want experience, they want to see what kind of a character you are. So anyways, yeah, I dropped out of college because I the point where I dropped out was when I was at art class. Was it art or English or something there? I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? Why the fuck am I taking this class? And it doesn't relate to what I'm gonna be using in the future, like um for nursing. That time I was going to nursing, right? And I was questioning school, like, holy crap. And why are they teaching me this crap when I don't even need it? So anyways, long story short, I quit, and then I started working more at the dealership as a greeter. So I'll be greeting people and uh, pointing them to like the right direction. I was basically the one that leading in, I guess you could call it marketing team. And I got tired of it too. I was so tired because I was burning in the hot sun. I was getting treated like shit. And my boss never really cared. She just wanted to please the managers. So I call in sick a lot, and we would fuck around so much. We would be. My friend was a shuttle driver, so we'd rotate shuttle driver and greeter. So we would be rotating, and then sometimes we would just drive wherever and sleep in the freaking the van with AC. We had a shuttle van which was also broken. The shocks were like jacked up. And one day, I called. Um, no, one day I called in sick, and she actually called me and said, "Yay, like what's going on? And gotta stop doing this." And I didn't know what to tell him. So I told him, yeah, I tried to make some excuse, but it wasn't good enough. I told them because of school, blah blah blah. They was like, you should quit then, and it's basically gave me the I'm gonna have to let you go lecture, and I was pretty bummed out because of course your money is gone after. But keep in mind, I was making like $350 a week, but it wasn't really worth it. I was making more selling CDs, burnt CDs, and all that. So I was always side hustling, and yeah, so I left it, and so I tried to go back school. So I went Leeward Community College, but that's another thing. Like, I didn't like the whole environment because kind of felt like high school again. That's the reason why I went to Kapiolani, because I didn't want to deal with cliques, because everybody would just go there and go home. I don't know how it is now. I think it's different because everybody started going there. But if you're from like the west side or Evo Beach or whatever on that side, you either go to UH or you go to Leeward Community College. And I tried it. I failed. I was like, what the hell is this psychology shit I have to learn? And like again, I was that time I was actually partying more, going out, um, just enjoying myself. And after I dropped out, I actually got a job as a nurse assistant, aka CNA or whatever you want to call it. But I was working at a day program, where I would actually run like a group. We were all assigned to a group of like disabled patients that have behavior problems. But I actually like them. I liked the job, and I liked everybody, but the pay wasn't too good. But it was again steady income. I knew the people there, and they were giving me more. They were more lenient with me going to school, and if I called in, I called in. But I I was working there, and then I started doing personal assistant work, basically assisting people in the community, like going to like shopping mall and all that. And then I was like, man, this thing is, I can't do this anymore. It's not enough. And the reason why I was forced to get a job ASAP was because I had actually gotten a loan, a truck loan for my 2006 Chevy Colorado, which was a big fucking mistake of my life financially, because I was so dumb and I got fucked over by Jay and Chevrolet. They Well, I got fucked over by the my salesman. I'm not gonna go into that, but in short, I couldn't afford the monthly on that. It was far off my freaking income. Like I was barely left with anything, and that's why I stay away from buying new cars unless I can buy it twice, or I could pay at least half down payment. I see a lot of people buying cars, and I'm like cringing because I knew like what it will bring later on, because that's the worst investment you can make. Anyways, so I got tired of doing PA work, because like again, like I said, it wasn't worth it for me. And my friend was working at the um, mental hospital in Kaneohe, and I was interested in, because he was doing the same thing as me, and now he's working there. And I went and applied. So we start off as agency before we actually get permanent position. So I was busting my ass over there, and I finally got in, and I was making way more than my other job, like triple the money, and I had benefits, but the environment was not like, I didn't like the environment. It really fucked me up. I think I got some kind of what is that? Not really PTSD, but some kind of trauma there. I don't know, because it was so stressful, and I seen people break, but I didn't really break. I just like my stress level went higher, my tolerance went higher, and now I can handle stress more better than the usual person because it was hectic. Like not only with the patients, but the staff was also uh crazy. Actually, not everybody, but some were like kind of cuckoo, and I already know that they weren't like that when he first came in. It was because of the job environment and how everything was handled. But I enjoyed working there. It gave me a lot of experience working with people, understanding people, um, reading people, especially. And I I enjoyed my time there. I was working graveyard shift. Again, don't work graveyard shift. It's taxing on your body, and you actually live a shorter life when you do. Basically, not getting any sleep. I mean, you don't do shit during the night, but you're just sitting on waiting. You're like a patient when you're at a you when you're working on a night shift, and that's how I felt, especially like in closed area, and we didn't get that much break time because, of course, we had to watch everybody, and there wasn't really anybody at night, so nobody really to cover. But I did have some good times with some friends, talk story. It gave me a lot of time to think about like what I wanted to do, and if I wanted to stay there. And at that time, making almost $3,000 a month was like super good, and it was a good gig. But again, like I said, I it was sometimes it would get super stressful. So I finally got permanent after applying. I think it was after a year and a half. I got permanent position. I went for that permanent position because I thought I could actually get um, a secure job. But to be honest, nothing is secure, and I'm gonna go into that on the next part. So I'm gonna be stopping here. I've been rambling too long. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to put this in different parts. But yeah, we'll stop there, and then we'll pick up from when I finally got permanent position and like where I went after that. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in again. Again, Monday and Friday, I'll be putting out content, interviews, stories, tips, whatever, reselling, business, life, entrepreneurship, martial arts. Find us on Hustle Podcast at Instagram and at Facebook. Talk to you guys later. Keep hustling. Peace.